I'm going to show you how to make a hat just like these ones. This one is made from worsted weight yarn, so it's slightly thicker, better if you live in a really cold area, and I put a little pom-pom on the top there. I use the word little very lightly there. This one is used using DK yarn, so it's slightly more breathable, better for say normal winters, and it's again got another little pom-pom on there. It's got some nice stretch to it with the DK yarn, obviously with it being a bit finer. This is the one that we're going to make today, again made with DK yarn. Okay, so this one's actually for my husband, so it'd be great for a man, or just if you wanted a hat with that pom-pom. So let's get started. So what you're going to need is some yarn. I've just got this cheap yarn which I got from B&M. It's 100 grams of double knit yarn, and then what you'll need is a crochet hook. Again, I'm just using a 5mm normal aluminium hook. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to start by making a slip knot. So wrap your yarn around your fingers, push it through, grab the loop, pull your fingers out and pull tight. And pop your hook through the hole, pull tight. And we're going to need to chain 45. This will be good for an adult hat. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So now we have 45 chains. What we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in every chain all the way along, but leaving 6 empty chains at the very end. Okay. So just to refresh you on how to do single crochet, you want to put your hook in under the loop. So you've got this V here. So you want your hook to go in the middle there. So you've got this little bump, just goes in there. Grab the yarn, the hook, pull it through, so you've got 2 loops, put your yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Okay, so you're just going to do that all the way along until you have 6 left at the end. Okay, so we've made it all the way along to the end and we've got 6 chains left. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chain 1, tighten it off and turn around. And then what we're going to do, I quite like the ridged look, so I'm just going to go into the back loop. So exactly the same as we did with the chains, you just go in the middle of the V. So if you don't want a ridged hat, all you need to do is go under those 2 little V's there. But if you do want a ridged hat, you just go in the little back loop there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet all the way along to the bottom, turn around and then come back, and I'll tell you how to join to these 6 chains when we get there. Right, so we've now done 2 rows and we're back up to where we've got these extra chains here. Right, so what you want to do is you want to pop your hook just in between the first single crochet and the second single crochet on the row below. So just pop your hook in there, pull through, and then you're just going to carry on and single crochet through there. So put your hook in yarn over and then pull through all 3. And what that does is it pulls the top row down to this height, but you won't get like a little hole that you would if you hadn't have connected it to the lower row. So then we're just going to continue to single crochet in each stitch across. There we go. I'll lay this down so you can see what it looks like. So what we're doing is we're creating a taper at this end of the hat, and this is going to be the top of the head, the top of the hat. So it's going to create a sort of tapered look, and it means that you can create a hat without working in the round, but then when you pull it tight at the top, you're not going to have loads of bulk. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continue this pattern of stitching all the way down. Then when you get up to the top, skip 6 stitches, go down, come all the way back up, join, continue those 6 stitches, then repeat that until you have 76 stitches all the way around. The good thing with this pattern is you can actually test the hat on your head before you bind off. So if it feels a bit too tight with 76 rows, you can add some more, or if you feel like it's getting too big already, it's 60 rows, pop it on your head, pull it around, see how it fits. If it fits fine, then just attach and bind off. So I will catch up with you again when I have 76 rows. So we're now on row 54. By the way, if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. It's just a little ring counter. You just pop it on your finger every time you finish a row. You pat the button. Of course, you could just use a pen and paper and a tally, but I find this really helpful, especially on projects where you're doing a lot of rows. So let's take a look at how it's looking so far. Okay, so what I decided to do in the end was to do up. So let's see if you can see. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so you can't even really tell. Is I basically went up here and I skipped 10 stitches, and then on the next one I skipped 6, and then the next one you can see I skipped 10 again. So in essence what that means is that the top of the hat is a lot narrower than the bottom, just so when we pull that tight it's not going to be too scrunched up and uncomfortable for the wearer on the hat. And as this one's for my husband, I won't be putting a pom-pom on it, so I didn't want it to be the obvious ring that you can see on the ones I showed you in the beginning. Okay, so we're just going to carry on. A few more rows to go. Okay, so we finished all our rows. This is what you should end up with. So we've got the nice tapered piece here, and we've got my yarn still connected. So what we want to do is connect all of this together. So have a look at it, have a look at both sides, see which side you like better. I think this side looks much better, because you can't really see the joins very much. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be the inside. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it up like that. And we're going to put the seam up here. Okay, so here we are. We've got our right sides together, our wrong sides facing outside. And we're just going to basically single crochet up here, taking one bit from this side and one bit from this side. Okay, so under the first bump, these might be a little tight because they are chain stitches that we've already stitched into. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're still just going to take the back loop. and that'll give it a more even look on the front. So through both of those, I've got my yarn and my hook, and I'm going to pull through both, and to give it a bit of stretch we're going to do a single crochet. I find if you do cast off with a slip stitch, you lose that stretch, so if you do it with a single crochet you've got a bit more give in the fabric. Okay, so we're just going to take the very next bump, which is this one, pop your crochet hook through. You might need to just manipulate it a little bit to get your hook through, and then through the next back loop there, pull your yarn through, yarn over, up through there. Okay, and again, through there. Okay, so I've just made the very final single crochet. We are now all attached. So now what you want to do is you just need to bind off. So how we do that is you just do chain one, pull tight, and then pull out your hook. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to use this yarn right here to actually sew up the top of the hat. So we want the tail to actually be quite long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe do 3 times. Let's make it 4 times the width of the hat. Let me just snip that off. There we go. Right, then we go back to our loop and you just pull in the spare yarn all the way through. There we go. So we have a nice tube going on here. And this is our stitch up the top, but from this side, see, you can barely even see that it's there. So you're going to need a darning needle or a yarn needle. I like a really sharp one because I actually like to go through the yarn to make sure that it stitches in properly. Okay, so just grab your long tail. Okay, and then what you want to do is just thread your needle like so. Okay, and then can you see how we've got lots of little knots where obviously we ended off each row and we tied a little knot in the end? So what you're going to do is you're just going to thread your needle through each of those knots. Okay. So through this knot, through this one, this one. To do 3 at a time. Pull the yarn through. Okay. And the next. And then we've just got this one left. I'm going to go through there too. Okay. Then what you want to do is just pull, pull, pull. Close up that hole as much as possible. Okay. You are going to end up with a little bit of gap because obviously we have got a lot of bulk here still, even though we did the tapering. That's easy enough to close up, so pull it as tight as you can. Then what you're going to do is just go through some of the knots again. And then go directly opposite. And that's gonna really help to pull that in. And we'll do the same on this side. Can you see how the hole is pretty much closed? And pull tight. There we go. Then we've got this yarn here, which is just the other tail end, which is why I always like to finish on the same side that I've started, which is always good to end on an even row if you can. So what I'm going to do is we're just simply going to tie these together in a knot. Like that. And double that up. Like so. And then we are just going to snip those off. If you want your hat to be sort of reversible, you could sew those in, but mine's not going to be. So you just turn it the right way out. And there we go.